You can now support me on my locals community, Tom's Train of Thought. Membership is free, and by clicking the join button, you can support me for as little as $5 per month. Link is in the description and in the chat. For those of you that are retired, it's not really Wednesday.
But nothing ever stopped me from dusting off my shoes. You might think you'll see me falling to the ground, but I threw up my umbrella when rain stops hitting down. Yeah! On a bad day, on a good day, I don't need no sunshine, 'cause I'm dancing with the rain. You will see me running, thinking I might be insane. I don't need no sunshine, you keep me going strong. I just need my happy face to keep me moving on. Looking out the window, reflecting who I am. No one ever stopped me, not even Uncle Sam. Life might be a struggle, life might be a fight, but I am here to show the world that I can make it right. On a bad day, on a good day, on a bad day, rain keeps raining.
We're not there yet. We got some extra stuff here. everybody. How you all doing? I'm a couple of days early. I'm putting all these people up here that showed up before the start. I think I got everybody there so far. Left off with Jeff Sykes, and I think that is everybody there. How you doing? I got to go over here. The last time I put up some warning flags in my live stream, YouTube, they didn't demonetize it. They limited the ad revenue on it because I said quarantined in the train room when COVID starts. So I hope they don't do anything with these hurricane flags over here. Way back in the early 60s, my guitar used to teach me the music. There you go. All right. Glad to hear that. And Reggie says, I'm barely awake in recliner. I sit in the recliner and I fall asleep all the time. So, and Scott, Hillbilly Railroad, I haven't seen you in a long time. Thanks for stopping in. We're having a special edition Workbench Wednesday because Milton is on its way. It's heading straight towards us. So I don't know what the hell's going on with it. It was a category 3, then it jumped to 4, then to 5 within an hour. So what does that, huh? Seems artificial to me, don't you think? Okay, so I'll leave that up to you to decide, but I think something's fishy going on here with all these hurricanes. And how you doing, Reggie? I'm glad you made it through it. How's everything going up in North Carolina? I know you had a rough time there. I posted some of the pictures on here last week to show everybody how it was up there. So I'm glad you're doing okay. You finally got power back on. I think you said Wednesday. So you was up without power for almost a week. We're ready. I got all my hurricane food. We got, what else we got? I put 24 bottles, the 12 ounce or 16 ounce bottles of water in the freezer just to keep it full. And if the power goes out, then I got a bunch of ice. And we got Chef Boyardee, all the other kind of canned stuff. We got the Coleman grill. What else do we got? We got the small canisters of propane, and 12 gallons of water, 2 weeks supply of medicines, a to-go bag, full tank of gas. So we're ready. We've been through this before. Yeah, hurricane government is headed your way. That's for sure. All right. And Reggie says we're doing fine in my immediate area. Still no cell service. Able to use Wi-Fi calling though. All right. Wow. Yeah. When we went through Irma, I mean, we had power back on, and the cell towers were down for the longest time. We had to go. We had to drive up at the bottom of the cell tower just to get good reception. I mean, if you were back, we was only about 400 yards from the tower, and we couldn't dial out or anything, couldn't text anything. You had to go right close to it to be able to communicate with anybody. Blame smoke. That's why I live in New York, high-ass taxes, but no hurricanes. I keep my snow and occasional tornadoes. Needless to say, hope everyone stays safe, please. I'll take the hurricanes over the snow. I had enough of the snow when I was a kid. The hurricanes only come like once every 3 or 4 or 5 years. We could deal with that. The last one was like 2 years ago. It was a Cat 1 that came through here, and we had the rain was going this way, and it got up underneath the soffit, and down into the walls. So that's what happens when the rain comes in sideways. But lost some leaves on the tree, and that was about it. My neighbor got flooded because his house sits a little bit lower than mine. All the other houses in this neighborhood are up off the ground level, but his is right at ground level. So all the water goes in his yard or in his living room. 23 inches of rain. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of rain. That's a lot of rain to drain out somewhere. It's got to go somewhere. It's draining back down into the Gulf. So we're ready for it. Let me get this thing started right here. If you haven't done so already, smash that like button, because you know why. YouTube does not push this crap out there. Rumble does, but YouTube don't. Smash that like button gently, please. Hurricanes over snow any day, although hurricane damage is much more costly. Well, insurance is getting a lot higher here in Florida, but when we had Hurricane Irma in Naples, I had damage on my vehicle because of the shingles came off the roof and just scratched the hell out of my car. I mean, and put a couple of dents in it. But I called State Farm. I called Jake at State Farm, and I mean, there was like 5 agents that called back and said, "Oh, they had people come from all out of state," and I had this guy from Kentucky that came down, within a couple of hours. I mean, he was in a hotel room, came down. He said, "They'll send you a check in a week." And they paid for everything, no questions asked. And then, they replaced the roof. It took them a while to replace the roof on our building, but it was almost a year before they replaced it. But that's what happens. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Yeah. And there's Debbie. All right. How you doing, Debbie? Good to see you in there. Still no idea the death toll. People still unaccounted for. What I heard, it was over 200, but I can imagine it's probably more than that. And I'm seeing reports. You don't see this on the news. You got to see it from independent reporters. But they're down there trying to help, and the government is pushing them away, saying stay out, don't help. So I don't know what's going on over there. I mean, it's ridiculous. Okay, what else I miss here? Gerald says, I was born and raised in New York. I enjoyed Central Texas now. Yeah, I loved it when I was in Southwest Texas. I liked it down there. Kind of hot, but I could have stayed at Randolph, and I could have stayed in Del Rio, but then that's when I met my first wife right before I got out of the Air Force, so I went back up there. All right, that's good to hear. They just located my Aunt Maudie and my cousin Triana, and my Aunt Maudie was trapped in her trailer with water in it, or now power or phone service. Trina and any were found in 3 homes trapped. Well, I'm glad they finally found them. I know it's scary. Central Texas is an ideal place to be now. Mild weather and no hurricanes, but I'm sort of stuck in Houston. Uh-oh. Well, I was surprised whenever Hurricane Gustav was, with my second wife. We were going to I had a brain fart here. We were going to a family reunion in Austin, and we stopped in New Orleans, and it seemed like a ghost town, and figured out why. We turned the radio on, and they already started evacuating. So we finally got into Texas, and I could not believe how many lanes they had there. I mean, it must have had about 20 lanes going across just for the evacuation. But anyway, we ended up going to Austin, and we was going to go to San Antonio afterwards to see my wife's sister in the VA hospital. And we were watching the weather, and they said, you know, Gustav was heading west towards San Antonio. So we decided we'll go see her brother up in Texarkana. So we drove, I think it was about three to 3.5 hours up to Texarkana. We got up there, turned on the television, and found out Gustav went straight up, and that's where we were. So we left the next day and ended up on Interstate 20, just across the Mississippi, and we stopped at a hotel there, and we got the last room. Everybody from the coast was up there in the hotels, and we got the remnants of it the next day. We got a lot of rain and heavy winds, so it's nothing to laugh about. It's nothing, you know, you got to worry about it, stuff, you know, because it's deadly. And Joel said, are they safe? Okay. Oops, I missed it. During evacuation, I-10 is all lanes west only. Yeah, I can imagine. I couldn't believe it. You know, I never seen so many lanes going in one direction. All right, so we're gonna do train shows. We're gonna do a train show haul, and we're gonna do some more. I'm gonna check on Milton, because usually, now I just noticed that they're doing updates in Central Time. So the last one was 4 o'clock. So they said 7 o'clock. So 7 o'clock Central. That'll be 8 o'clock Eastern. So I'll check it here soon, but we'll talk about that. And Joe Rader, how you doing? You gonna be safe? I'll be safe. I'll be hunkered down in here. We got all our stuff ready to go. Thank you for asking. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do the train show haul, and I gotta find a little thing for that train show haul. That's number 6 right here. And wait a minute, it's not working. There we go. All right, we was at D-Land this weekend, and after D-Land, after the train show, we went to the barn, and I got to put that barn video out tomorrow morning. And then after that, we went to Buc-ee's, but I got to show you what Debbie got first, because I got all this stuff in my chair, and I have to scoot back over there later on. So she got a bunch of toy trains. I don't know how much she spent, but this thing right here, it's a Marx, and she says she's going to paint some of this stuff. She got a Fisher Price, you know, on a pull string. Woo-hoo! Okay. Here's a little plastic one, 610. And here's a set of wooden ones on a string. These are old-timey ones. She says she's going to paint these right here. There's another one right there. That, I guess that's a caboose. That's play school. Okay. There's another locomotive right here. We got two of them with pull strings on it, and a little gondola. There we go. So, and I bought her a T-shirt. What was it? A Pennsylvania or a B&O T-shirt? She's not paying attention. But anyway, I bought her a T-shirt at Zitnik's. So that's what she got. And let me get this out of the way and show you what I got. Well, if you watched the train show video, you probably figured out 3 of the things that I got, because I let the cat out of the bag there, but I got a few other things. I got a 1950 Rambler. Okay, it just came out with from Oxford, right there. Let me see if we can undo this here, so we can see all the way around. There we go. Nice little Rambler. Okay. Hey, Russ's Rocco Railroad. How you doing? Good to see you in here. And Woodland Scenics chain link fence. Since Cigar Corner came with one piece of chain link fence, this piece right here, I figured I'd get some more because I didn't like that one, so I wanted one that didn't have as many gates on it. And then I also got this fence right here. Okay, and then I got a couple of Wheelworks vehicles. It just says Ford service truck. So these are plastic that you have to put together. Yeah, Oxford are cool. The guy that I get them from is still charging $10. Other places are charging $13. They just went in for price not too long ago. And the Wheelworks 1934 panel trucks. And it looks like he bought it from H&R Trains. H&R Trains just went out of business a couple of months ago in Pinellas Park. So yeah, both of them have the H&R Trains price tag on it. So that's what I got right there. So I always need vehicles, and I always need fences. So let me throw these back up here. All right, that's what we got. And maybe she still has it over here. If you're wondering, I'm looking in the dryer for the thing. I didn't get lost. I was looking in the dryer for the t-shirt to show you the t-shirt, but I couldn't find it. There's too much stuff in there. Hey, Larry Burgum, how you doing? Good to see you in here. Put that up there. Who else is up here? Okay, that's it. All right. Hit the button. There you go. All right, now it's time for train shows. Don't be confused. I had to do this on Monday. Okay, look at that while I get rid of these things off of the chair right there, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So we went to D-Land this past weekend. That was a good show. All right, New Brunsfield Railroad Museum Train Show, Saturday, October 26th, and also Sunday. Thank you, Gerald. Really appreciate it. Okay, Timonium, Maryland, coming up this weekend, October 12th and 13th. That's a really big shoe. Ray Bubble, Joe Rader. Who else is up there? Everybody up in Maryland. Ken Amos Jr. They all be up there. But I won't be up there. We can't afford to go up there right now. Okay. That's not the right one. Okay. So, maybe, I think they got one in March. Maybe we'll go, head up there on March. Then Clearwater, Florida, October 26th is Regal Railway. And Gaithersburg, Maryland, November 2nd is Golden Spike Enterprises. And Pinellas Park, Florida, November the 3rd, right before Election Day. That is their sidewalk sale or parking lot sale. Yeah, this year is flying by so quickly. Yes, it is. Can you imagine it? Woohoo! And what else we got? Gaithersburg. Uh-oh. Did I put it up there twice? I put it up there twice. Never mind. It's one of those days. It's either the second or the third. It's probably the second, because the second is Saturday. I just noticed that I had that up there twice. In Orlando, Florida, Lake Nona, November 9th, Train Collectors Association. We've never been to that one, so we're going to try that one out. Next Timonium show will be in April. Okay, thank you for that. I thought it was sometime around there. I wasn't sure, but thank you. I'd hate to go up there in March looking for it and, and have to wait a month. Okay, so what else we got? Milwaukee, November 23, 24th. That's Train Fest. And then Melbourne, Florida, December 7th. That's always a pretty good show. It's a couple hours away. And Columbus, Ohio, December 7th, Golden Spike Enterprises. And another Timonium, Maryland, December 7th and 8th, Greenberg. And then Columbus, Ohio, December 7th, Golden Spike Enterprises. And then Pinellas Park, Florida, December 14th, Suncoast Model Railroad Club. And they we'll be going to that one. They always had one in October but the last two Octobers they had to cancel because of, you know what, the hurricanes. And there's Rusty. How you doing, Rusty? Good to see you in here. I know it's not Wednesday. I changed my mind. And then West Springfield, Massachusetts, January 25 and 26. That is Amherst. I didn't put a star on there because we're still trying to save money. And I had to get a bunch of cash out of the credit union today. So I don't know if we're going to be able to save enough. It's not looking very promising for January. So that's my life of train shows there. So we got Pinellas Park with Zitniks. We got Orlando. And then we got another Pinellas Park. And maybe if we could save up enough money to Amherst. We was hoping. I have to hit the lottery or something to get to that. How are you Florida folks doing? I'm doing okay. I just talked to Jim on the phone right before the live stream, and I don't think he knew that I was on there because we had a bad connection and it got cut off. But he's doing okay. He's ready. We're all ready for it. The West Coast is going to get hit really bad. Where I'm at, we're in the central part of the state, so it'll die down a little bit, but we'll get a lot of wind, a lot of rain, but it's not going to be, the flooding like they do along the coast. It's not going to be a Cat 5 or a Cat 4, maybe 2 at the most by the time it gets to us. Yeah, damn. They keep printing out the wrong ones when they give them to me. I keep trying. I keep donating money to my lotto fund for my retirement, and it just ain't going nowhere. Oh, your daughter's in Fort Myers. Yeah, tell her to hunker down or to get out, because I don't know if it's down as far as Fort Myers, but in Pinellas County and Ave Maria, they told them to evacuate, a mandatory evacuation. So I hope she does okay, but nowhere to go, because Debbie just talked to her sister. She lives in Orlando, and they were going to get a hotel someplace. You can't get a hotel anywhere. Probably have to go up to coast of North Carolina to find a hotel someplace, and maybe they're all taken up by the people in North Carolina and South Carolina from the other hurricane. So it's pretty rough, especially along the coast. So that's all I got for the train shows. I'm going to put my thank you thing up here for the members, so here we go. You can now support me on my locals community, Tom's Train of Thought. Membership is free, and by clicking the join button, you can support me for as little as $5 per month. Link is in the description and in the chat. Thank you for your contributions during the live stream. I really appreciate it. I would also like to thank all the moderators who have helped me out in the past years. Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much, like that guy said over there. And and I just pulled it up, and they got the new one out for 7 p.m. Central Time. And it looks just like the other one, except for The X has moved closer to Cancun right there, but still it's 1 p.m. Wednesday. M is over 110 mile per hour wind. They used to put the number like cat, whatever they thought it would be, but they don't do that anymore. Hey, Waycross. So here's where we are, about right there where that pointer is. It seems like it's moving further up north because earlier this bottom part of the southern part of the cone was way down here, and now it's up here, right even with the north side of Lake Okeechobee. So it's heading further up north, but on this side, as the hurricane comes up through, or let me put this on here, the track, as it comes up through, this part right here is the strongest on the right side and the back side, the right and back side. So it'll still hit us pretty hard, but we don't know how. So 100 greater than 110 miles per hour. I think the last thing it said it was 135 miles per hour back over here. Yeah, I don't think they really tell you what it is on here. You have to go on the news for them to give you the update on it, and they scare the hell out of you on the news. And Rusty says she is in the medical field. Well, I hope she could stay at the hospital, because that's probably the only safe place there. Russ says my lotto ship saw me and changed course away from me. Hold on a second. I forgot I muted it when Debbie was calling. Sorry about that. Okay, and Debbie was saying all that stuff over there. Oh my goodness. All right, here we go again. Okay, Debbie was in the bedroom looking for yarn. I had the mic muted, so they didn't hear anything.
Oh, good.
I muted Mike because Debbie was calling, and I couldn't hear what she was saying, and she was on the floor looking for some yarn. She has it in the big old cabinet, and she couldn't get up. She was over there yelling for me, so I had to go over there and get her. But anyway, she came over here and she said, "Hello, everybody, and be careful in Florida." And thank you for reminding me that I had my mic off. So let me go over this again. So, okay. Okay, so I put this up here. My friends in MacDill Air Base have reservations at a resort in Orlando. Their whole neighborhood goes together. That's good. All right. At least they were able to get some reservations. And then Waycross says, I saw on. Let me check over here. Yeah, it's on. I saw on YouTube the news on I-75 is back with traffic, and I-4 near Disney World and Disney going to close. Yeah, I saw the same pictures of I-75, and that was in Ocala, but it gets like that every day. I mean, it gets backed up going north every day. And Interstate 4, every day, both ways. In fact, when we was coming back from D-Land, like I think it was about 3:30 in the afternoon, we was in about a 20-minute delay heading to Highway 27, and we're only like 3 exits from Magic Kingdom, and so that it took a long time to get there. But when we got to 27, the whole time heading east towards Disney, towards Orlando, was backed up, and we can go over top and look down the other way, and you can see for 2 miles it's backed up way towards Tampa. So it's like that every day here in Florida. But yeah, Disney World, yeah, they're going to close. There's a lot of businesses going to close. Yeah, and further north, and that's what I was saying over there on this map right here. Yeah, we're down here, but that's where the strongest wind is on the east side and the back side, right over in here. So we're not out of the woods, but hopefully it'll go further up. So, all right, this past weekend at the flea market, I picked up a Spectrum HO060 saddle tank switcher. All right, DCC ready, Penske engine, mint in box 22. Oh my goodness, you made out like a bandit. Holy moly. I wish I could find something like that. Okay. Gary Chestnut, my older brother lives in Oldsmar in Old Tampa. Okay. Mike said I thought his hearing aid broke. I played tricks on you like that. Tom's talking to himself once again. Never heard Debbie. I could bring her back, but she says she doesn't want to come back and talk to you, Reggie. Okay. That's a crazy map. My parents just sold their Bradenton place this past year. Well, Bradenton is right there. Is that Bradenton on that coast or on other coast? Or am I thinking of Brandon? Where is Bradenton? That's near Sarasota, ain't it? On the Jacksonville, Florida news, that gas comes out. Tampa will be shortage of gas because of the hurricane. Well, already when we went to get gas on Sunday, Marathon was already out, and we went down to the Wawa, and we were able to get gas there. But there must have been about 4 or 5 pickups there that with people with their gas container, 5-gallon gas containers filling up, like 4 or 5 of them at a time. So, and it was like that all day Saturday or all day Sunday and all day today too. We was out today again, and the same thing. Everybody's out there filling up their trucks, filling up their gas tanks for their generators. So they're ready. Do go further north. I hope it goes more south like the Caribbean. Well, it's got to take a really big turn to go south. But it's trending towards the north. Okay, yeah, south of Tampa. Yeah, okay. South of Tampa. All right. Sparky was in the chat, I think. Yeah, Sparky would give her a big kiss. And she would call him Spanky. Well, I had a little thing right here. Let me see where it is. Here is what I collected for the last couple of days. And so here's Saturday at 10 p.m. You can see it was way back here. And it just said a hurricane there and monsoon there, and then it updated. This is 4 p.m. on Sunday. It moved a little bit, and a little bit more in 3 hours. Not very much. And what's the next one? 4 a.m. It's not going very far, but it's gaining strength. And I think it moved a little bit here, and since 1 p.m. I think it moved the most, because it's like about right almost there. I think this is the last slide right there, and then you can see here's current right there. That's a little bit smaller, but it's getting there. All right. I meant to say don't go further north. Yeah, the X is the I, yeah. Yeah, the you know, it hasn't moved from. Okay, let me put this back over here. Yeah, from Saturday morning to now, it hasn't moved very far, just like from there to there. But they finally updated it, and they showed, you know, the 3-day forecast. Is this 3-day all the way up to here? Okay, and that's a 7-day, or this is 5 days, that's 7-day. What is that? Whatever. 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, yeah. So it hasn't moved very far. I mean, because when it started out, it was right there and right there. So this is Monday. So by Wednesday, it's going to go about 4 times as far as it did since Saturday. Saturday, Sunday. In 2 days, it went that far. In 2 days, it's going to go that far. So it's going to pick up speed. Tom, you need a big red light for your mic like a radio station has. I got the VU meters right over here, but I wasn't paying attention to them. I think this one has it. No, this one don't have it. My other one does. It has a little thing, but, you know, it has the dots on it. It goes like that.
I'm going to have to move the other. But this one's a cheap mic. This one's only like less than $30. It's a Pfeiffer. And the other mic that I have is a Yeti, and it's like $120. But I always have problems with the USB connector. I mean, if you move it around just a little bit, it screws up. But yeah, that's a good idea. I ought to put a light on it. Channel 4 News in Jacksonville, Florida. Largest evacuation happened not since 2017. So 2017, what was that? Was that Irma? I can't even remember now. So that had to be Irma, wasn't it? Because I remember in 2004, there was one that took almost this same path. And that was right before I moved here. And I think it went down just a little bit lower than this one here. With as hot as the Gulf waters are, sadly, it'll gain strength quick. Yeah. So, how? Okay. Hurricane Milton is what category now? Okay. It's category 5 right now. Okay. Florida storm battered golf course raced against the Category 5 hurricane Monday as workers sprinted to pick up debris left from Helene 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Governor DeSantis was on this morning saying you got to stay open 24/7 to get all this debris out of the way. The center of Hurricane Milton could come ashore Wednesday in the Tampa Bay region, which has not endured a direct hit by a major hurricane in more than a century. What did they get a couple years ago? What are they talking about? Or maybe the direct hit was further down. It hit Sanibel. Okay. Scientists expect the system to weaken slightly before landfall, though it could retain hurricane strength as it curls across central Florida toward the Atlantic Ocean. That would largely spare other states ravaged by Helene, which killed at least 230 people on its path from Florida to the Carolinas. This is a real deal here at Milton. Okay. Let me see. And Reggie said, caboose washed away in Marshall, North Carolina. Okay, let me put this up here. Let me get the big one. He just sent me a... Oop, get it away from the flag. There you go. There's the caboose washed away. Oh, my goodness. Thanks, Reggie. All right, so... that it is imperative for debris. Okay, as evacuation orders were issued, forecasters warned of a possible 8 to 12 foot storm surge in Tampa Bay. That's the highest ever predicted for the region and nearly double the levels reached 2 weeks ago during Helena. The storm could also bring widespread flooding, 5 to 10 inches. Tampa metro area has a population of more than 3.3 million people. It's a huge population. Much of Florida west coast was under hurricane and storm warning. Okay. All right. So anyway, that's the latest update. It's a category 5 right now. That's strong. And it went from the 3 to 4 to 5 in a matter of an hour this afternoon. Tom, get away from there. California is the place you ought to be. Yeah, also 1999 largest valuation from Florida coast, the Georgia coast, 1999. That must have been the same hurricane that hit us in Maryland. Force of water is incredible. Yes, it is. Hey, T-Star, how you doing? Good to see you in here. We're talking about hurricanes because we're in the midst of getting hit with one in a couple of days. So yeah, 99. I remember because my wife went out looking for the Home Depot. There was Home Depot, there was Lowe's, and Heckinger's. And I think there was maybe about 2 stores of each. So that would have been 6 stores altogether. She was looking for a generator. And at that time, they had, at all the big hardware stores, they had the generators up against the front wall from floor to ceiling in preparation for Y2K. Remember that, Y2K? And we lost power. And so she went out while I was in the basement. We had a sump pump, and I had to go down there with a bucket in the sump pump because I had this little bilge pump that wasn't doing anything. I hooked it up to the 12 volts on a car, and it wasn't pumping it out fast enough. Me and my son were down there with buckets, and I had a laundry room in there with a sink, so we were able to drain it in there, but it wasn't fast enough. So we just gave up on it. She came back and she said she'd been everywhere. She couldn't find a generator. I think we was out for maybe a week or 2, but we had like maybe 3 inches of water in the basement. Yeah, it does a lot of damage. Yeah, Gulf waters are hot, yes. California has political hurricane Newscomb. Yeah, there you go. Reggie Stroud. Okay. Hugo came through here in 89, but it was nothing. All right, yeah. Hugo. It's funny how you remember the names of hurricanes. All right, so I got a couple of videos here. Show you where this is Workbench Wednesday special edition. We'll get back to the hurricanes after this, but I got a couple of videos here on what I've been doing, and I put this first one I put up for members only. Put it up on YouTube for members only. Put it up on locals, and I put it up on Rumble also. Yeah, I remember the experts telling us everything. Yeah, that was shut down on January 1st, 2000. Yeah, that's why they had all the generators everywhere. Yeah, look what happened. Nothing. All the experts. Yeah, some experts. Okay, here's one more about ready to pop up. My hometown, Waycross, Georgia, got hit by a hurricane. 2 weeks, Category 2 winds over 100 miles per widespread damage. All Waycross, Georgia lost power, and all around Waycross, Georgia lost pine trees, fell down. That last hurricane, I mean, you know how far off the coast it was. We lost power about 5 or 6 times last week, and our cable went out. I think it was Wednesday evening around 8:30. Didn't come back on until Thursday afternoon. And for the longest time, I think for about two hours, I didn't even have any bars on my cell phone. I couldn't, I could make a phone call, but I couldn't bring anything up on the internet or anything like that. I couldn't even get a hold of Comcast to tell them that our cable was out. I had to go in there and search from old texts and texted them before I could report it, because I couldn't get on their website through the phone. Okay, so
Here is, well, here it is. I was a little busy last night after doing the video, uploading it to Rumble and YouTube. And you'll see right here what I have on the workbench. You can see I made a little bit of progress there. I'm going to put this out for Rumble locals and supporters on YouTube for right now. It's Friday evening. We're going to have dinner in a little bit, and after dinner I'll post these up to those platforms so you can all watch it. So we're going to D-Land tomorrow. Hope to see you there if you're going there, and I'll be working on this again after probably on Monday. So here's what we got on it. I've been working on putting the signage on the walls. I got the front wall right here, but I'm going to have to make a copy of the rest because this comes in two different, that sign comes in, either goes across two different pieces of the building, and it is the shortest one is too long for the side wall. The side wall is just a little bit smaller, so they made these things a little bit oversized, so I'm going to have to recopy these things right here and shrink them down to get it to fit. But here's what I got so far on the front one right here. And we'll weather it out a little bit and call it a night. I just finished up the first video on this, getting ready to upload it onto Rumble. Well, I had a hard time sleeping last night. I woke up about 2:30 in the morning and laid there for about a half an hour, not being able to fall back asleep. But then I went out in here in the workbench and played around this for about an hour, and I finished this side. And what I did was I trimmed this, instead of reprinting, I just trimmed the edges of this to make it fit. You know, I measured how far the little corner slabs would be on there and then cut it to where it would be, and then put these other signs on there. So far, we got, this is the front, and this is the side. Got all the signage on it. Now there's a couple of signs. One goes right underneath here, right there, and then there's a sign that goes in this window right here, but I have to put the brick in that. So the fun part is what comes next, and that's all the doors and windows. Now these two walls here, I'm gonna find some other signage and put some on there instead of just trying to repeat what's on the front and the one side. I'll put some other signs that I have just to fill up the space. You really don't see these in the diorama, but you know, in case ever you want to move a building to another location or just to photograph it, you know, it's good to, you know, that you could do that. So here's all the windows and doors right there. So this is going to be fun doing this part. I need to take a break after assembling this little storefront right here. This is 8 little pieces sandwiched together. You still see a little bit of the glue on there. I'll show you the back side of it right here. But what I did was the 3 outside pieces I super glued. I just put a dab of super glue in there to hold them into place. And then after I got them into place, I used Aleene's tacky glue on the rest of it, on the top and on the inserts on the bottom, because you need that fluctuation of sliding it in there, because if you can't slide it in there, you got the super glue, it's stuck. So that's why I needed that Aleene's tacky glue on that. So that took about maybe 10 minutes after cutting all the pieces out and figuring out which ones go where. It took about 10 minutes to assemble. So it's delicate, and there's looks like there's a smaller one like this too. So that one's going to be even funner. All right, the smaller storefront went a lot smoother and faster because I knew what I was doing. So it went together surprisingly easy, even though it was a little bit smaller and a little bit more delicate. But now we got two of them. Okay, now it's to the windows and the doors. Now there is 16 windows and 2 doors, but I only see 14 slots for the windows, so I guess I give you an extra 2 so you can make mistakes. And before I put the acetate in these little bump outs, I'm going to have to touch up, because you can see the inside. And I'll show you the pictures of the windows and doors and how everything is arranged. Instead of putting it up here in the front, I'll just say, looky here. And here are the photos right here. Here are the 16 windows. Here are the 2 doors. And here is how these storefronts or these bump outs will be on the walls. It's about dinner time. We're going to have some dinner. We're just having some leftovers, pulled pork. And after that, I'll do some windows, get some sleep, and we're going to D-Land in the morning. So until the next time, we'll see ya. And have fun with building your kits or playing with your trains, whatever you're doing.
That's the video I put up for members only. So since you're so special, I gave it to you to watch right there. I like printing my own signs too. Yeah, I went online and I tried to find some more, and I couldn't really find them. You know, and I forgot all about the cigar store Indians. Damn, you used to see them all over the place. I gotta look at mini prints to see if they got any. Need some Simon eyes on that head. I need some makeup on that head so it don't shine so much. Oh, thank you, Gerald. Oh, you're welcome. All right. So, yeah, what else have we got here? I got one more. Show you how I did the windows. They're all pill and stick windows, so they're pretty easy.
Now let's take a look at the windows. We got 3 pieces. This one is the furthest back, and then this one, and then that one is up front, and plus the acetate. So each one of them is actually 4 pieces. The second floor, the windows are longer.
Yeah, before I go any further with that, about the sanding it down, I used to sand it down all the time, but what I found is when I sand it down and try to put it on, the paper always breaks, and you always have problems with it. So I just leave it the way it is and do it. And I got that burnishing tool. One side it's round, and the other side is pointed almost like a pen, but not quite as pointy as that. And I'll just go over with the dull side, and on the brick I'll just follow the mortar lines. It takes a while, but I follow the mortar lines that way, all the way horizontally, and then and the vertical ones, since they're all staggered, I'll just go like this along it, and it'll show it up really nice. So that's an easier way to do it, because sanding it down, unless you can find 18-pound paper, which is ideal for that, but you could hardly find it anymore. Used to be able to get it all the time in Home Depot, Office Depot. Used to be able to get off of Depot or Staples all the time, but you can't find it anymore. But that was ideal for it. You didn't have to sand it down, but it just breaks up too easy when I use it, so I don't do it anymore.
Then the third floor.
Back to the program.
These are longer and these are shorter. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the short ones and 7 of the long ones. So that's what we're going to be working on now. And I'm not going to make you sit through them. I'll just do one of them right here. And we'll just take the backing off of 2 of them. And it says put the window, yeah, because it leaves the acetate on one, the full length. Sometimes on these windows they cut it in half and you put the acetate individually on there. So this one's a little bit different. It'll work a little bit easier. It'll make things go a little bit faster. So to take the front trim piece and put it on. Like that. Make sure it's squared up. And then a piece of acetate. And we won't have to glue this acetate in because this is that last piece is peel and stick, so we'll just take the paper off of it and just slap the acetate on top of it. And then we'll just have to glue it into the hole. So let's get this off real quick here. And I got the ceiling fan on. It's a 4-speed fan. I got it on number 3 because I don't have air in here. So it blows pretty hard on the workbench. You can see the paper towel blowing right there. So let me get this off. Put this on the edge of the glass right there. Peel the paper off. And put the acetate on. And there we have one window completed right there. So 11 more to go. I finished up the windows in less than an hour. Let me put you down on the bottom here. All right, so these are a snug fit. So I just had to press them into place. Let's do it like this right here so you could see it a little bit better with the white background. All right, those walls right there. These 2 walls here is the side wall and the very back wall. This is the side wall, this is the very back. And what I did with the top floor, I left the paper on the window, on the acetate itself, on the back part. This way we could color it and it'll simulate blinds. So all we have to do is just put it in here, press it in, and before I assemble the walls, I'll just, and this one's a little bit tighter than the rest of them. Okay, so that's not a good choice right there. Wouldn't you know it when I do it to record it, it doesn't fit. I might have to shave that one out a little bit there. Okay, so here we go. That's a snug fit right there. And before I assemble the walls, I'll just go on the back over here and just dab it with some super glue in the corners to hold them in place.
it's a nice snug fit. Probably don't need it, but just to be on the safe side, we'll put the super glue in there, because you never know, you could poke your fingers through it and the glass, the window panes will end up on the inside of your building when you least expect it. So there's that one right there. Let's see if this one will work over here. Yeah, this one seems a little bit tight too. So I'm going to have to sand down the edges on this just a little bit. And they gave you this little sanding tool here, so we'll see how this thing works. And it might have got a little bit of paint on the inside of there too, which is what it looks like. So I'll just sand both edges. And see if that helps. I might have bent this out a little bit. That's a little better. There we go. Much better. Okay. So there we go. There's that one. That's the back wall right there. And this is the side wall that faces TJ Baum. So now all we have to do is cut that little piece of wood over there for the trim. And I'm going to find some signage so I can put it on these walls here, because they're too bare. So I want to find something, see if I can find anything. Debbie got a bunch of signage. She got 2 sheets of signs, so I might print them out because they're on slick paper. So I might copy them and put them on here. Hello, I'm back. Here we go. All right, Kyle Stevens. Thanks for stopping in. I really appreciate it. Gotta go back to work. Oh my goodness, what is that? Thank you. Thank you for stopping in. My Office Depot closed for business earlier this year. Well, luckily we still have one Office Depot here. Staples closed a few years ago. We are getting a Hobby Lobby here in Marion, North Carolina. Hobby Lobby ain't what it used to be. I mean, they're stocking less and less of everything. The last time we was there, when we went to the Villages, I don't know if I took a picture of it. Hold on a second. I might have put it at the end of the video from the Villages train show. Let me check here. But they had one HO scale. Oh, I deleted the Villages. Yeah, I deleted the Villages when I went to D-Land. So they had one HO scale train set and one N scale train set. They had some Easy Track, Bachmann Easy Track and HO scales, and some switch and turnouts, and that was it. And JTT trees and stuff like that, and just a few of the Woodland Scenic just lights, just a couple of packages of it, and that was it. That's all they have for model railroad stuff anymore. They cut down on the paints. They used to have probably, the racks like this. Well, maybe like that. They used to have about 10 racks like that. They're down to 2 racks now. You can find more at Michael's. And what else? Oh yeah, the other supplies like the airbrushes and stuff like that, and the glues and stuff like that. I mean, it's takes up a space about that big, and about that like that. So they're cutting back on everything. But if you want Christmas stuff, if you want signs or anything like that, or frames, they got it. But the stuff that you really want, they don't have. Yeah, my Hobby Lobby has no trains anymore. It looks like they'll probably just get rid of them. Because a couple of years when I was still living in Naples, they used to carry a lot of the Just Lights, and that's when I picked them up because they were putting them all in clearance. You know, each one of those tubes was like almost $10. It was $9.99, and they were putting them into clearance for $1.99, $2.50, and I got a whole shoebox full of them. Yeah, not a guy store anymore. I know. We're gonna have to make our own hobby stores, huh? Yeah, I just pulled this up on Twitter X, and let me see if I can get it over here. Okay, now this is about. Let me see if I can make this bigger. I don't think I can make it any bigger though. Go this way. Yesterday, you stated that the Federal Emergency Management Agency, which is part of your department, does not have enough funds to make it through the hurricane season. This news comes after FEMA has spent hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars on migrants due to border czar Kamala Harris' open border instead of prioritizing funding for America impact by disaster. My office has been in contact with the whistleblowers in numerous emergency management functions as to the federal, state, and local levels, and they all point to the same criminal mismanagement issues. FEMA has wasted taxpayer funds. Okay, get down to the bullet points down at the bottom. Please provide answers on the following questions. What policies and regulation the Department of Homeland Security prevent emergency funds from being wasted on illegal immigrants? Of FEMA total budget for fiscal year 2024, what portion of funds can be guaranteed to have been spent solely on American citizens? And in fiscal year 2024, what portions of funds in the Disaster Relief Fund have been spent on disaster relief programs, such as providing services to illegal aliens or providing routine training to FEMA employees, authorizing out of general appropriations. So this was because some whistleblowers have come forward alleging that the agency misappropriated funds in the wake of Helene, withhold pre-disaster aid, and that first responders and service members have been waiting in hotels without deployment orders. Now that came out October 4th, so that was on Friday. So yes, they are slow walking it. And Mayorkas, I think 2 years ago, said that they spent, I don't know if you, let me put this on, see if you can hear this.
FEMA is tremendously prepared. This is what we do. This is what they do. And the key here, Rebecca, is also to make sure that the communities who are potentially impacted are prepared as well. FEMA is tremendously prepared. This is what we...
Oh, that's not the one. But there was another one on here where he said that they gave $625 million to illegal immigrants earlier in the year, and then later on, a couple of weeks ago, he says they don't have enough money to fund our own citizens. Yeah, Rockrow Railroad said mine is more like a Michaels now. Michaels has better stock and stuff. Although they don't have Christmas, or they don't have train stuff, but they have a lot more paint, which is, I like to get my paint there. So let me turn this audio back off over here, because I'm not going to do any of that. Yeah, I pulled up on FEMA controversy, and all it came up was that letter right there. But Yeah, lots going on over there. They're slow walking everything, and there were I can't find. I didn't bookmark anything, but they were there were people going into Tennessee and North Carolina trying to help out, and the government was telling them to leave because they didn't want them in there. There was a couple of helicopters that went in and buzzed over a relief effort. They were unmarked, and you tell me that these black helicopters are unmarked, and they zoomed over top of these tents that were helping out the people, and they just swooped down in there to destroy everything, and then took off. No lettering or anything, and the government doesn't know anything about them. I'm not sure exactly where that was, but something's not right there. Just the same thing as in Hawaii. They screwed over the residents there. And I've been hearing a lot. I don't know if it's true, but there's a big lithium deposit in that area that was flooded out, and so they're just like they did in Lanai, going to buy up all the land for the mineral deposit. So haven't heard much on that, but that's a rumor that's going around that right now. Taking care of Americans is not part of their agenda. Taken from Americans is their high priority. Yeah, they keep taking from the taxes, and they're giving it to the illegal aliens. Yep. We need Biden gone and put in a nursing home. Yeah, he needed to been in a nursing home a long time ago. That's for sure. Boy. I'm going to call it a night. Let me show, after I do this, here. This is what the workbench looks like right there. I haven't got anything since then because today we went out after I went to rehab, cardiac rehab, went out to Home Depot, and I was looking for flashlights and batteries, C and D batteries. Home Depot didn't have any D at all. They had C. And flashlights. Now, can you imagine? Okay, you're in a power outage, and so what are you going to do with a rechargeable flashlight? Okay, if you have no power, how in the world are you going to recharge it? They had flashlights. They didn't have any battery-operated flashlights. All they had was rechargeable flashlights. $80 for a flashlight. Can you imagine that? $80 for a flashlight. So we went to Lowe's, and I finally found one, and like the old one that takes 4D batteries. It had an LED light in. $6.79. So we picked up one of them, got some, and Lowe's had a lot of D-cell batteries, so we picked up a lot of them. And while I was opening up, I had a box cutter and trying to open up the thick plastic for the battery, and I just stabbed myself in the thumb. I mean, that just went right in there. And I'm on blood thinner right now, so I was holding a paper towel on it for about 15 minutes, and it was still bleeding like crazy. So I went over here at the workbench, and I started putting super glue on it, and the super glue started bubbling up with blood on it and everything. So I had to keep on putting it. So I got a hard surface there now. Part of it has paper towel on it, but I finally got it to stop bleeding. But it feels like I got a thimble on my thumb right now, or like a big callus on my thumb. Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to put the end screen up here. Thank you all for stopping in. We'll keep you updated. Wednesday so far. Let me see where we're at right here. So Wednesday at 1 p.m. is supposed to make landfall. So keep the prayers going. Oh, that's the end of it. Let's get to the beginning.
engineer, where are you headed? Carry me back to Tennessee. Oh, I got a little girl who's been waiting. Promised that she'd marry me. Mister, can we leave that seat? I'll shovel coal, Lord, to pay my fare. Gotta get this train down to the station. My little girl waiting for me there. Well, the night is dark and Lord, it's cloudy. I've been traveling that lonesome road. My one true love.
Here it comes. The swirly smoke.
Won't that low train carry me back? Well, they left Columbus around 7. Oh, Lord, they hit Louisville about 9. And poor boy's heart started overheating, sending all of his love on down. For the night is dark and Lord is bright. I've been traveling this lonesome road. My one true love waiting there to see. Oh, that long old train back.
Ba-ba-ba-da-ba.
For the night is dark and the sky is cloudy. Traveling on that lonesome road. My one true love waiting there to see me. For that long old train, won't you carry me? Oh,
Train, won't you carry me home? Whoa, whoa. Good night, everybody. Thank you all for stopping in. We'll be as safe as we can. Bye-bye.